This is fascinating because CERN, now, they did the Hadron Collider, the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. And CERN is quite interesting because it's sort of a breakthrough between modern technology and ancient technology. But what it was set up for was set up by these scientists to find the God particle. It had a $21 billion budget, which is very strange in any scientific circle. So people started to wonder immediately, is there some military purpose behind it? And I dug into CERN and the Collider and found very odd things, including the fact that they had a huge scandal there for doing an occult ritual that got caught on camera in front of CERN. And the Hadron Collider becomes this thing that's sort of worshipped in these scientific circles because they're worshiping this incoming of a communication from another dimension. Technically, CERN is set up to find the God particle. Higgs boson is what they call it. But with that big budget, everyone assumed something else was going on. And so then they started to create papers about it and saying, no, you know, all those rumors are false. There's nothing strange going on. We're just looking for the Higgs boson. But then they found it. So technically you'd think, okay, their work is moving on to something else. This thing about particle colliding is quite fascinating. Deep, deep in the literature, if you look into it, these scientists say, we're trying to contact another dimension through CERN, through the Hadron Collider, in fact. So they've mapped out gigantic tunnels there in France, Switzerland, and other places. And they are using this as a gigantic particle smasher. Somehow in the middle of all that, they recreate the conditions, they say, of the Big Bang. And so then the whole concept of strangelets came up. And this is interesting. A group of scientists sued CERN because they said, your Higgs boson particle smashing experiments can release strangelets. And guess what? Strangelets can form black holes. And if you form a black hole, you can suck up a country, or, you know, it's a big problem basically to create a black hole. So they sued them, and then they tried to find out who owned CERN, who was actually doing this. Then they found out that CERN was a sovereign country, and that the way it was set up was very much like Vatican City or something like this. There was no way to sue them. They are their own independent thing. So digging in a little deeper on CERN gets us into occult territory, because there's a whole occult wing inside of CERN which thinks that they can use the technology to interact with beings, intelligences that are on a different dimension, literally. So that's very much like the Two-Eye Stone in that sense. And you can see that the CERN Hadron Collider is sort of Atlantean-style technology. It's also very innovative, kept very tight and underground, and has a funny, you know, sort of, you know, they had Tom Hanks start it up. He was like, hey, I'm going to start it up. It's CERN, Large Hadron Collider. I'm going to flip the switch. You know, they have their PR thing, but it's a very strange project, highly funded. And now other countries are looking at CERN and trying to develop their own, saying, we think it's a weapon. It actually has a weapons use. So I think when we're talking about technology that is kind of a spiritual technology that could be misused, CERN is a good modern example.